Hello everyone and welcome to this week's edition of Reino de las Mascaras, the Kingdom of the Masks. I am your host, as always, Rey de Mascaras, and today we are gearing up for a trip. By the time this one goes live, I will have just a couple hours left of work, and then it is off to the Twin Cities area for First Wrestling. WrestlePalooza, 2 nights. We've got lots of action. Just announced here earlier this week, Orange Cassidy will be on the show Sunday the 14th. And also on that show is going to be Dante Martin versus Brian Keith. Also a trios bout featuring the Los Desperados, the team of Gringo Loco, Arez, and Latigo, taking on the first contingent of Devon Monroe, the current reigning WrestlePalooza champion, the VFW Uptown champion Brandon Goer, and from Top Flight, Darius Martin. Night 1, Gringo Loco versus Arez versus Latigo versus Aramis. It's gonna be a heck of a weekend of wrestling, and honestly, there's a lot more going on. I know Aramis is going to be at Galley on Sunday down in Chicago. I know also in Chicago tomorrow night is going to be GCW, and there's going to be some Lucha representation there as well. So busy weekend. So I'm excited. I will be in person for First this weekend, and GCW I'll be watching from afar. But today I figured I would talk about probably one of the more popular AAA wrestlers of today, and also trying to figure out my irrational fear of clowns. And by that, you've probably realized that I am going to be talking about Psycho Clown today. Now, my first, I don't want to say impression, but the first time I saw Psycho Clown was part of the Psycho Circus alongside Monster and Murder Clown. And the interesting thing is the first few times that I saw the Psycho Circus trio, they were going against usually a trio that also included Aerostar and Laredo Kid. And I gravitated toward those two, mainly with, their high flying, their awesome masks. And so I always kind of found myself burned out because I know the Psycho Circus got a huge push coming out of the gates. So I really didn't gravitate towards Psycho Clown very much at first anyway. As time went on, I started really kind of digging the mask. I kind of started digging his in-ring style. And that was really weird because I have a really weird, almost irrational fear of clowns. And I know fear of clowns is a thing. And it's just kind of weird because I never had like a super negative or super scary experience with clowns. I've never seen the movie It. I'm not watching it, don't ask. And anything like that, the circus never came to the town I grew up at, except for a couple of times. The most memorable would be my dad. He worked at the radio station, and he was, because of his media reach, he was chosen to, he was chosen to participate in the elephant races, and he won. He took first place in the races. He did not get a prize. The only prize he got was a new change of clothes because the clothes that he had on were ruined, absolutely done. So once we got to the circus part itself, it was a normal circus for the 90s. So never really had a negative experience with clowns. The only other thing I can think of is they brought one to preschool when I was in preschool one day, and still, it was a cutesy, funny type clown. I watched Bozo the Clown every weekend when it was on. Thank you, WGN. So it's weird, but the two types of clowns that I've discovered I am rather comfortable with are Psycho Clown. I do have Monster and Murder Clown masks as well, and Clown from Slipknot. I don't know, go figure. But anyway, onto the mask. Psycho Clown masks are always, it's latex, And the tricky part with latex is sometimes it doesn't like to stay together, we'll say. I've got a few buddies in the mask collecting community that have gotten Taurus masks are a great example. You know, heavy duty, but with latex they tend to degrade. It's just kind of the way it is. Now this one I've had for a few years and I don't really see any signs of anything going wrong with it. It is a replica mask. It's not official, not ring worn or anything like that. So it's a fun mask. I do love the multicolored mohawk. I love the fact that the mohawk lays down a little bit. So when I'm wearing this and I want to bounce my head around, the mohawk will go with it. Very cool. I don't have hair, so I gotta get my kicks when I can when it comes to stuff like that. So I'll duck out a minute. I'll put this on, talk about it very, very briefly because it echoes really bad. So I'll be right back.
And here we are. Here's what it looks like on my head. This does fit quite a bit better than the Taurus mask that I have. The Taurus one is absolutely skin tight, and it really does a number on my eyes. I can't wear that one very long. But this one is a little different story. It fits nice, but it's not trying to crawl through my skin all the same. So it's one I could wear for a little while. I wouldn't wear it all day. Anything like that. It's very tricky to get the tongue piece off of the mouth. You can probably hear me. The tongue piece just kind of has a habit of crawling right up there. So yeah, and it is a little tough to breathe in it. There are nose holes here, but if you try to breathe through your mouth, you're going to be sucking a lot of wind. So very cool mask though. Very cool mask. I like it. I dig it. It's fun. You know, I've got a sister-in-law who hates clowns, so every Halloween I snap her a picture of this, and she hates me for it. Same with a coworker. It's all in good fun. What can I say? They do get a kick out of it, even if they're mad at me for a minute. So I'll go ahead and switch back. We'll wrap it up.
And we're back. One thing I did forget about masks like these is the latex smell can really kind of get in your nostrils a little bit. I had to take a break there because I took it off and it was like, whoa, it's like it sticks with it. But very cool mask. This is kind of the, for lack of a better term, the traditional Psycho Clown look. I do have a couple of other, I have one other one, I should say. I do have another one. It's actually Joker themed. It's actually really, really cool. I'm not sure if he ever wore that paint scheme, so I kind of keep it in with the replicas, but I mean, it is a replica, but that is kind of the tricky thing with Psycho Clown masks for me. I always strive to make sure that my collection stays with designs that have already been done. Even if it is a replica, I try to stay away from custom designs, for example, or you know, somebody that's like, oh, hey, this would look really cool on a Psycho Clown mask painted up. I kind of try to steer away from those. I know it's weird. It's just the way I've always kind of been. So anyway, that is this week's mask. Like I said, the hair just flows. I love it. I don't have any hair back here, so I gotta enjoy it where I can. So hope you enjoyed this week's episode. Fair warning, and I try to say if because I'm always kind of weird about saying when, but if Latigo brings some masks with him this weekend, I plan to get one. I do not have a Latigo mask, so that's kind of first on the list. Is I would love to have a mask from Latigo to add to the collection. So if that does happen, I might just go live to show it off a little bit. So that is this week's episode again. I hope you enjoyed it. As always, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you want to see. We're always open to taking requests, taking suggestions, anything we can do to make your experience a better one. So if I don't catch you on Instagram Live this weekend, I will catch everybody next week. As always, live, laugh, love. Lucha Libre. We'll see ya.